JJ the CPA here in Central Park. I want to talk to you about business overhead insurance and why it's important. When you get a car, you go buy insurance immediately. You don't even think about it. If you bought a $10,000 watch, I'm sure you bought insurance on it. If you bought a house, you're required to get insurance on it, but you would never not buy a house or a piece of property and not get insurance on it. On yourself, hopefully you have life insurance. Hopefully you've got disability income insurance. You're probably the most valuable asset you know of, I would assume. That would be something you'd agree with. But if you own a business, one of the most troubling things that can happen to it is that if something happens to you, or something happens to one of your key employees, or something happens to your business, and I'm not talking about necessarily the tornado, because your general liability insurance hopefully has some things like that. But I'm talking about some things that could come into play that causes a disruption to your business other than shutting it down. So do you want something that's going to affect your business for 90 to 120 days to cause your business to go out of business? Because I'm telling you right now, most small businesses, they don't have enough money sitting in their bank account to last 90 days. Or if they have some accounts receivable, possibly they're in a situation where they could go whatever their cash is and then collect on their accounts receivable. Okay, good for you. Is that 6 months? And then what happens at the end of 6 months? Because you're so smart and you didn't get any business overhead insurance, well, you're depleted now. You don't have any accounts receivable because if business has been closed, how you been generating new income? All your money's gone. How you going to make payroll? So don't just sit around and be arrogant and think you're Superman, even though we all do, probably me included, and think that you're not going to need insurances. So if you got a successful business, especially if you're in a business where it's service business and it's very reliant on you, so a dentist, CPA, architect, attorney. So are you saying you're not very valuable and that if you're not in the business, no problem, we'll just keep going, your employees will keep showing up, no worries you can't pay them in full, no worries that you can't pay rent? Are you kidding me? So business overhead insurance is just that. It's insurance to kick in to cover overhead if for some reason something happens to you. Disability, you're in chemotherapy and trying to beat cancer. You have a situation where you've been in some kind of accident, and I know you can say, oh, well, you know, I've got really good car insurance. Well, good for you, because you know how long it's going to take you to get any kind of payout from the insurance company? A year or two. You think your employees are going to sit around and wait for that? If you have disability income insurance, what's that supposed to do? Cover your home bills, right? It's not going to cover payroll to your employees. If you have life insurance and something well, you're not dead, right? So many people overlook this, and why? Because insurance salesmen don't know how to sell it properly, and I use that word, sell it, because they just treat it as some kind of add-on. They don't really explain it to you, and or you don't trust the insurance salesman that you're working with. So bottom line is, business overhead insurance is not a scam. It's something that you should have, especially if you're a small business and if a lot of the income is really contingent on one or two people. It would be good to have that in play. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me.